Have you ever felt your soul weighed down by expectations, pain, or fear? In the endless flow of life, letting go is not a sign of weakness or giving up. Instead, it is a courageous act, a powerful choice to free yourself from invisible chains that bind your spirit. When you let go, you create space for your heart to breathe, for your mind to find calm, and for your true self to emerge. Letting go means releasing the grip on things that no longer serve you, whether it's the burden of unmet expectations, the pain of past wounds, or the anxiety about an uncertain future. It's about embracing the present moment fully, without clinging to what was or what might be. This act of surrender is not about losing control, it's about gaining a deeper kind of control, the control over your own peace and happiness. When you let go of expectations, you open yourself to life's surprises, both good and challenging. You stop fighting against reality and start flowing with it. This shift allows you to experience gratitude for what is, rather than frustration for what isn't. It's in this space that true joy begins to take root. Letting go of past pain means forgiving yourself and others. It means no longer carrying the heavy weight of resentment or regret. This forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it frees you from being trapped by it. You reclaim your power to heal and grow. Finally, letting go of fear means stepping into the unknown with trust. Life is unpredictable, but when you release your grip on fear, you open the door to courage, resilience, and freedom. Letting go is a journey, sometimes difficult, always rewarding. It invites you to live with an open heart and a peaceful mind, discovering the true freedom that lies within. Chapter 1. Letting go of expectations, embracing life's realities with grace and peace. As we journey through life, especially in our later years, many of us carry a heavy load of expectations of ourselves, of others, and of how life should be. These expectations can feel like invisible chains, binding us to disappointment, frustration, and even sorrow. But what if the key to peace lies not in holding on tighter, but in learning to let go? This idea of releasing expectations is deeply rooted in Buddhist teachings, yet it resonates powerfully with the practical wisdom many of us have gathered through decades of living. It's about embracing life as it truly is, rather than as we wish it to be. The weight of expectations. Expectations often start as hopeful visions, a desire for a fulfilling retirement, good health, loving relationships, or a legacy of kindness. These hopes are natural and healthy. However, when expectations become rigid demands, they set us up for suffering. The more we cling to a fixed idea of how things must unfold, the more vulnerable we become to disappointment. For example, you might expect your children to visit regularly, or your health to remain strong, or your community to behave in a certain way. When reality doesn't match these hopes, it's easy to feel hurt or disillusioned. This gap between expectation and reality is a common source of stress, especially as life inevitably brings change. Buddhist wisdom on letting go. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from attachment, not just to material things, but also to ideas, outcomes, and expectations. The Buddha encouraged his followers to cultivate a mind that is open and flexible, able to accept life's ups and downs with equanimity. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or becoming indifferent. Rather, it means approaching life with a heart that is open to whatever comes, without resistance. It's about recognizing that life is fluid and unpredictable, and that true happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances. Embracing life's gifts, big and small. When we release rigid expectations, we open ourselves to receiving life's gifts in all their forms. This might be a quiet morning with a cup of tea, a phone call from a friend, or even a challenging moment that teaches us resilience. Older adults often have a unique perspective on this. Having lived through many seasons, you may have learned that joy often comes in simple, unexpected moments. Embracing these moments with gratitude can transform your experience of life. Practical steps to let go of expectations. 1. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Notice when you are holding on to an expectation and gently remind yourself to release it. 2. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Keeping a gratitude journal can help shift your mindset toward appreciation. 3. Accept impermanence. Understand that change is the only constant. Health fluctuates, relationships evolve, and circumstances shift. Acceptance frees you from the pain of resistance. 4. Set flexible intentions. Instead of rigid goals, set intentions that allow for adaptability. For example, I intend to connect with loved ones, rather than, they must visit me every week. 5. Engage in compassion. Extend kindness to yourself and others. Recognize that everyone is doing their best with the resources they have. Stories from life. Consider the story of Mary, a retired teacher in her 70s. She had long expected her children to care for her in her old age, but as life unfolded, she found herself living alone more often than she had imagined. Initially, Mary felt lonely and disappointed. But through meditation and reflection, she began to let go of her expectations. She started volunteering in her community, building new friendships, and finding joy in daily routines. By releasing her rigid expectations, Mary discovered a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. The freedom in letting go. Letting go of expectations is not always easy. It requires courage to face uncertainty and humility to accept that we cannot control everything. But the freedom that comes from this release is profound. When you let go, you stop fighting against life's natural flow. You allow yourself to be present, to experience each moment fully, and to find contentment regardless of external circumstances. This freedom nurtures inner peace, which is the true foundation of happiness. A call to embrace the present. For many older Americans, this stage of life is an invitation to slow down, reflect, and reconnect with what truly matters. Letting go of expectations can be a powerful part of this journey. By embracing life's realities with grace, you honor your past, cherish your present, and open your heart to whatever the future holds. This is not resignation. It is a wise and loving acceptance that allows you to live fully, with joy and peace. Remember that letting go of expectations is a gift you give yourself. It lightens your heart, frees your spirit, and deepens your capacity for gratitude and love. As you walk this path, may you find the serenity and happiness that come from embracing life just as it is. Chapter 2: Letting Go of the Past, Living Fully in the Present Moment. Every one of us has stumbled, faced pain, and carried scars from our past. These experiences shape who we are, but they do not have to define the rest of our lives. The past, no matter how heavy or painful, cannot be changed. What truly matters is the present moment, the only place where life truly unfolds and where healing begins. As we grow older, it becomes clearer that holding on to past regrets, mistakes, or hurts only weighs down our spirit. The wisdom of Buddhist teachings invites us to release these burdens through forgiveness and acceptance, opening the door to peace, growth, and freedom. The weight of the past. Many of us carry memories that replay in our minds like old films, moments of failure, loss, or betrayal. These memories can trap us in cycles of guilt, anger, or sadness. When we live in the shadow of the past, we miss the richness of the present and limit our capacity for joy. For older adults, this can be particularly poignant. Life's challenges, health struggles, lost loved ones, missed opportunities, may feel like heavy chains. But these chains are often self-forged by our unwillingness to forgive or let go. Buddhist perspective on forgiveness and healing. Buddhism teaches that attachment to past pain is a root of suffering. The practice of forgiveness, both toward ourselves and others, is a path to liberation. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harm, it means releasing the grip that pain has on our hearts. By forgiving, we stop reliving wounds and allow ourselves to heal. This healing is not a quick fix but a gradual unfolding, like the gentle opening of a flower. It requires patience, compassion, and mindful presence. Embracing the present moment. The present moment is a precious gift. It is the only reality we truly have. When we let go of the past, we free ourselves to fully engage with the here and now. This engagement brings vitality, connection, and a deeper appreciation for life's simple pleasures. Older adults often have a profound capacity for presence, having experienced many seasons of life. This wisdom can be a beacon, guiding us to live with intention and gratitude. Practical ways to let go of the past. 1. Practice mindful awareness. Notice when past memories arise. Acknowledge them without judgment, then gently bring your attention back to the present breath or sensations. 2. Cultivate self-compassion. Speak kindly to yourself. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that you deserve forgiveness and love. 3. Engage in forgiveness practices. Reflect on those you need to forgive, including yourself. You might write a letter, even if you don't send it, expressing your feelings and releasing resentment. 4. Seek support. Sharing your story with trusted friends, family, or counselors can lighten your emotional load and offer new perspectives. 5. Create new meaning. Find activities or passions that bring joy and purpose, helping you build a life focused on growth rather than regret. Stories of transformation. Consider John, a retired veteran in his late 70s. For years, he carried guilt over decisions made during his service. This guilt shadowed his relationships and his peace of mind. Through meditation and compassionate self-reflection, John began to confront and forgive himself. He joined a veteran support group, sharing his story and hearing others. Over time, John felt lighter, more connected, and able to embrace his present with gratitude. The freedom of release. Letting go of the past is not about erasing memories but about changing our relationship with them. It's about choosing not to be prisoners of our history but architects of our future. This release brings freedom, a freedom to live without the heavy chains of regret and resentment. It opens space for joy, love, and new beginnings, no matter our age. Embracing life as it is. Life is a continuous flow of moments, each unique and fleeting. When we stop clinging to what was, we can fully experience what is. This presence is the essence of peace and happiness. For many older Americans, this realization is a profound gift, a chance to live the remaining years with grace, acceptance, and joy. Letting go of the past is a courageous and compassionate act. It honors your journey, frees your heart, and invites you to live fully in the present moment. Through forgiveness and mindful presence, you can open the door to healing and growth, discovering the peace that has always been within you. Chapter 3. Letting go of fear, embracing the beautiful uncertainty of life. Fear of the future is a silent thief. It creeps in quietly, stealing our peace, disrupting our sleep, and robbing us of the precious moments that make life worth living. It whispers doubts, paints worst-case scenarios, and convinces us that the unknown is a threat to be feared. Yet, what if the very thing we fear, uncertainty, is the gateway to a fuller, freer life? To let go of fear and embrace uncertainty is not a simple task. It requires courage, trust, and a shift in perspective. But it is also one of the most liberating journeys we can undertake. When we stop resisting the unpredictable nature of life, we discover a strength within ourselves that no fear can shake. The nature of fear and uncertainty. Fear is a natural response, wired into our brains to protect us from danger. But in modern life, fear often fixates on imagined threats, the what-ifs that may never come to pass. This kind of fear anchors us in anxiety and keeps us from fully engaging with the present. Uncertainty, on the other hand, is life's constant companion. No matter how much we plan or prepare, the future remains unknowable. Weather changes, health fluctuates, relationships evolve, and the world shifts in ways we cannot predict. This unpredictability can feel unsettling, but it is also what makes life vibrant and alive. Reframing uncertainty as opportunity. What if we began to see uncertainty not as a threat, but as an invitation? An invitation to be curious, to grow, and to discover new facets of ourselves. In Buddhist philosophy, uncertainty is embraced as part of the impermanent nature of existence. The practice of mindfulness teaches us to live fully in the present moment, accepting whatever arises without clinging or aversion. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, it means responding to life with clarity and calm. Cultivating inner strength. Letting go of fear begins with cultivating inner strength, a deep knowing that, whatever comes, you have the resilience to face it. This strength is not about controlling outcomes but about mastering your response. Consider the metaphor of a tree in the wind. The tree cannot control the storm, but it can bend and sway without breaking. Similarly, we can learn to be flexible and grounded, rooted in our values and self-awareness. Practical steps to embrace uncertainty. 1. Practice mindful breathing. When fear arises, pause and focus on your breath. Deep, slow breaths calm the nervous system and bring you back to the present. 2. Challenge catastrophic thinking. Notice when your mind jumps to worst-case scenarios. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have? What is the most likely outcome? 3. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control the future, but you can control your attitude, actions, and choices today. 4. Build a support network. Share your fears with trusted friends or family. Sometimes, simply voicing your worries can lessen their power. 5. Celebrate small wins. Recognize moments when you face uncertainty bravely, no matter how small. These victories build confidence. Stories of courage in uncertainty. Take the story of Linda, a woman in her 60s who faced unexpected health challenges. Initially overwhelmed by fear of what the future held, Linda chose to shift her mindset. She embraced uncertainty as a chance to deepen her relationships, explore new hobbies, and live more intentionally. Her fear didn't disappear, but it no longer controlled her. Instead, she found joy in the present and strength in the unknown. Freedom in surrender. There is profound freedom in surrendering to uncertainty. It is the paradox of life. By letting go of the need to control, we gain control over our peace of mind. When you accept that the future is unknowable, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of worry. You open your heart to possibility, creativity, and unexpected blessings. Embracing life's dance. Life is a dance between the known and the unknown. Fear tries to freeze us in place, but embracing uncertainty invites us to move, to flow, and to grow. Imagine yourself as a dancer on a stage. The music changes without warning. Instead of resisting, you learn to listen, adapt, and express yourself fully in each moment. This dance is life, beautiful, unpredictable, and deeply rewarding. Letting go of fear and welcoming uncertainty is a radical act of self-love and courage. It calls us to trust in our resilience and the unfolding of life's mysteries. When we embrace the unknown with an open heart, we discover a freedom and peace that no fear can ever take away. Chapter 4. Letting go of hatred, cultivating compassion as a journey to inner peace. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of why letting go of hatred is not just virtuous, but essential for our well-being. Hatred is a corrosive force, poisoning our minds, bodies, and spirits. It consumes us from within, often long after the initial hurt has passed. Yet, we cling to it, justifying our anger with stories of betrayal, injustice, and pain. We replay these narratives, reliving the wounds, as if by doing so, we can somehow rewrite the past. But the truth is, hatred keeps us tethered to what has hurt us, preventing us from moving forward. The deceptive comfort of holding grudges. There's a twisted sense of control in holding on to hatred. It's as if by nursing our anger, we can somehow punish the person who wronged us. We imagine them suffering, feeling remorse, and finally understanding the depth of our pain. But this is an illusion. Our hatred rarely affects the other person. More often than not, they are oblivious to our feelings, or worse, indifferent. Meanwhile, we become trapped in a prison of our own making. Our thoughts become consumed with resentment, our emotions clouded by bitterness, and our actions driven by a desire for revenge. We lose sight of the beauty in the world, the joy in connection, and the possibility of a brighter future. The path to freedom, compassion and forgiveness. The alternative to hatred is compassion. Compassion is not condoning harmful behavior, it's not excusing those who have wronged us. Instead, it's acknowledging the shared humanity of all beings, recognizing that everyone, including those who have hurt us, is subject to suffering. Compassion allows us to see beyond the surface of actions and into the underlying causes of behavior. It helps us understand that people are often driven by their own pain, fear, and ignorance. This understanding doesn't erase the hurt, but it softens our hearts and makes forgiveness possible. Forgiveness is not a gift we give to others, it's a gift we give to ourselves. It's a conscious decision to release the grip of hatred, to let go of the need for revenge, and to move forward with peace. Forgiveness is not easy. It requires courage, humility, and a willingness to confront our own pain. But the rewards are immeasurable. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the burden of resentment. We reclaim our power to choose our thoughts, emotions, and actions. We open ourselves to the possibility of healing, growth, and renewed connection with others. Practical steps for letting go of hatred and cultivating compassion. 1. Acknowledge your pain. Allow yourself to feel the anger, sadness, or hurt without judgment. Suppressing emotions only prolongs the healing process. 2. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions without getting carried away by them. Observe them like clouds passing in the sky, knowing that they will eventually dissipate. 3. Cultivate empathy. Try to understand the other person's perspective. What might have motivated their actions? What pain or fear might they have been experiencing? 4. Express your feelings. If appropriate sometimes, it can be helpful to communicate your feelings to the person who wronged you, if it is safe and appropriate to do so. However, the goal is not to seek an apology or change their behavior, but to express your truth and release your emotions. 5. Forgive yourself. Often, we hold on to hatred because we blame ourselves for what happened. Forgive yourself for your mistakes, imperfections, and limitations. 6. Practice loving-kindness meditation. This practice involves directing feelings of love, compassion, and kindness toward yourself, your loved ones, and even those you find difficult. 7. Focus on the present. Instead of dwelling on the past, bring your attention to the present moment. Engage in activities that bring you joy, peace, and connection. The ripple effect of compassion. When we let go of hatred and cultivate compassion, we not only heal ourselves, but we also create a ripple effect of positive change in the world. Our kindness inspires others to be kind, our forgiveness encourages others to forgive, and our compassion creates a more peaceful and loving world. It is a journey, one that requires patience, persistence, and a deep commitment to our own well-being. But the rewards, inner peace, freedom, and a heart filled with love, are well worth the effort. This journey invites us to transform our pain into power, our hatred into compassion, and our lives into a testament to the beauty of the human spirit. Chapter 5: Letting Go of Control, Flowing with Life's Natural Current. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, the desire to control everything around us is a common response. We strive to manage our schedules, relationships, health, and even our thoughts, hoping that by doing so, we can create a sense of security and stability. But the truth is, no one can control everything. The more we try to hold on tightly, the more exhausted and disappointed we become. The wisdom of Buddhist teachings invites us to embrace a different approach, to let go of the need for control and learn to flow with the natural current of life. This shift is not about giving up or being passive, it is about trusting the process of life and discovering freedom, creativity, and inner peace in surrender. The illusion of control. Control feels like a refuge. It gives us the illusion that if we can just manage every detail, we can avoid pain, failure, or uncertainty. Yet, life is inherently impermanent and ever-changing. Trying to control what is uncontrollable is like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through your fingers no matter how tightly you grasp. This illusion of control often leads to frustration, anxiety, and burnout. We become trapped in a cycle of worry and effort, trying to fix things that are beyond our power. The more we resist life's natural flow, the more we suffer. The power of letting go. Letting go of control is a radical act of trust. It means acknowledging that some things are simply not ours to command. It means accepting uncertainty as a fundamental part of existence. When we let go, we open ourselves to the possibility of new experiences, perspectives, and growth. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from attachment to outcomes, to ideas, and to control. By releasing this attachment, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open the door to peace. Flowing with life's current. Imagine life as a river. You can either fight against the current, exhausting yourself in resistance, or you can learn to float, navigate, and even enjoy the ride. Flowing with life does not mean passivity, it means being present, responsive, and adaptable. When we flow with life, we become more creative and resilient. We respond to challenges with flexibility rather than rigidity. We find new paths when old ones are blocked. This openness allows us to live more fully and authentically. Cultivating trust and surrender. Letting go of control requires cultivating trust in ourselves, in others, and in the unfolding of life. This trust is nurtured through mindfulness and self-awareness. 1. Practice mindfulness. Observe your thoughts and feelings about control. Notice when you are gripping tightly and gently remind yourself to relax. 2. Accept what is. Embrace the present moment as it is, without judgment or resistance. 3. Focus on what you can influence. Direct your energy toward actions within your control, like your attitude, choices, and responses. 4. Embrace uncertainty. see uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and discovery rather than a threat. 5. Cultivate patience. Understand that life unfolds in its own time and way. Stories of transformation. Consider Sarah, a woman who spent years trying to control every aspect of her life, from her career to family dynamics. This relentless effort left her exhausted and disconnected. Through meditation and Buddhist teachings, Sarah learned to release her grip on control. She began to trust life's flow, accepting setbacks and surprises with grace. This shift brought her a sense of freedom, creativity, and deep inner peace she had never known. The freedom within. Letting go of control is not about giving up power, it is about reclaiming your true power. The power to choose your attitude and find peace regardless of circumstances. This freedom is a profound gift, allowing you to live with joy, creativity, and serenity. In embracing the natural flow of life, you discover that true control lies not in managing every detail, but in mastering your response to life's unfolding. This mastery brings a deep and lasting peace that no external circumstance can shake. Chapter 6. Letting Go of Reliving Pain, Healing Through Mindfulness. Painful memories have a way of looping endlessly in our minds, replaying scenes of sorrow, regret, or loss. This repetition can trap us in a cycle of suffering, keeping wounds fresh and preventing healing. But there is a path to freedom, a way to embrace these emotions without being overwhelmed by them. That path is mindfulness. Mindfulness, rooted deeply in Buddhist teachings, invites us to turn our attention gently and fully to the present moment. Instead of resisting or suppressing painful feelings, we learn to recognize, embrace, and then release them. This practice transforms how we relate to our inner experiences, allowing healing and true joy to emerge. The trap of reliving pain. When we dwell on past hurts, our minds become like a scratched record, stuck on the same painful track. This constant replay intensifies our suffering and often leads to anxiety, depression, or emotional exhaustion. The more we resist these memories, the stronger they seem to hold us captive. Mindfulness as a healing practice. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and feelings with kindness and curiosity, without judgment. By doing so, we create space between ourselves and our pain. This space is where healing begins. Rather than pushing away difficult emotions, mindfulness encourages us to meet them with openness. We acknowledge their presence, understand their impermanent nature, and allow them to pass naturally, like clouds drifting across the sky. Steps to heal through mindfulness. 1. Focus on the present. Ground yourself in the here and now. Notice your breath, bodily sensations, or the sounds around you. 2. Observe without judgment. When painful memories arise, observe them as passing phenomena, not as defining truths. 3. Embrace your emotions. Allow yourself to feel sadness, anger, or fear without trying to suppress or fix them. 4. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. 5. Release and let go. With gentle awareness, let go of clinging to negative emotions, trusting that they will fade in time. The gift of healing and joy. Through consistent mindfulness practice, you cultivate resilience and emotional balance. Painful memories lose their power to control you. In their place, a profound sense of peace and joy can arise, joy rooted not in external circumstances but in your awakened presence. This healing journey is gradual and gentle. It honors your experiences while guiding you toward freedom from suffering. Chapter 7. Letting go of the need to fix others, honoring each person's unique journey. In our relationships with family, friends, and even strangers, it is natural to want the best for those we care about. Sometimes, This desire manifests as a wish to fix others, to change their behaviors, attitudes, or choices because we believe it will lead them to a better life. Yet, this impulse, though well-intentioned, can create tension, frustration, and even distance. The wisdom of Buddhist teachings gently reminds us to let go of this need to control or correct others and instead honor each person's unique path. The illusion of control over others. When we try to fix others, we often do so from a place of attachment to our own ideas of how things should be. We may believe that our way is the right way, that our perspective is the best guide. This mindset can lead to impatience and judgment when others don't conform to our expectations. However, every individual is on their own journey, shaped by their experiences, lessons, and timing. Trying to impose our will on someone else disregards their autonomy and the sacredness of their personal growth. Respecting individual paths. Buddhism teaches that each person has a unique path to walk. What works for one may not work for another. The challenges, lessons, and timing differ for everyone. Recognizing this truth fosters respect and compassion. When we honor others' journeys, we create space for authentic connection. We allow people to be who they are, free from pressure or judgment. This respect nurtures trust and deepens relationships. The freedom in letting go. Letting go of the need to fix others is liberating, not only for them but for ourselves. It frees us from the exhausting role of controller or critic. It opens our hearts to acceptance and unconditional love. This freedom also invites us to focus inward, cultivating our own growth and compassion rather than trying to manage external circumstances. Cultivating compassion and empathy. When we release the urge to change others, we develop greater empathy. We begin to see people through a lens of understanding rather than correction. Compassion arises naturally as we recognize that everyone is doing their best with the resources they have. This compassionate stance softens our hearts and enriches our interactions. It allows us to support others without attachment to outcomes, offering kindness and encouragement instead of control. Practical ways to let go and respect others' journeys. 1. Practice mindful awareness. Notice when you feel the urge to fix or correct someone. Pause and reflect on the source of this impulse. 2. Reflect on your expectations. Ask yourself if your expectations are fair or if they stem from your own fears or desires. 3. Cultivate patience. Understand that growth takes time and that everyone moves at their own pace. 4. Focus on your own path. Invest energy in your own development and well-being rather than trying to change others. 5. Offer support without attachment. Be present and supportive, allowing others to make their own choices and learn their own lessons. 6. Embrace acceptance. Practice accepting people as they are, recognizing their inherent worth and dignity. Stories of transformation. Consider the story of Tom, who struggled with his adult son's life choices. Initially, Tom tried to control and correct his son, leading to conflict and distance. Through reflection and Buddhist practice, Tom learned to release his need to fix his son. He began to respect his son's journey, offering love and support without judgment. Over time, their relationship healed and deepened, built on mutual respect and understanding. The heart expands through letting go. When you let go of the need to fix others, your heart expands. You become more open, compassionate, and loving. This openness enriches not only your relationships but also your own sense of peace and fulfillment. You realize that true connection comes not from changing others but from accepting and loving them as they are. This acceptance is a profound gift, for both you and those around you. Conclusion: letting go is not an ending, it is the beginning of a new life, a life where you can truly be yourself, free, peaceful, and filled with love. This journey of release is a powerful invitation to step out of the shadows of attachment, fear, and suffering, and into the light of presence, acceptance, and joy. When you begin to let go, you open the door to freedom. Freedom from the burdens that weigh down your heart and mind. Freedom from the endless cycle of worry, regret, and resentment. It is in this space of release that you find your true self, unencumbered by the past or anxious about the future. You become grounded in the present moment, where life unfolds in its fullness and beauty. Letting go is also an act of courage. It requires trust in yourself, in the flow of life, and in the wisdom that everything unfolds as it should. It means embracing uncertainty with an open heart and welcoming change as an opportunity for growth. This courage transforms fear into peace and resistance into acceptance. As you embark on this path, each day becomes a chance to live fully and authentically. You learn to appreciate the simple joys, to nurture compassion for yourself and others, and to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Your life becomes a reflection of inner harmony and love that radiates outward. So start today. Begin your journey of letting go with small steps, mindful breaths, moments of awareness, acts of forgiveness. With each step, you move closer to a life of true happiness and fulfillment. Remember, letting go is not losing something, it is gaining everything, the freedom to live as your most genuine, peaceful, and loving self.